I think we're back here, folks, getting ready for set number 2. We are on the, how do I say this, the non-fan side. They have these courts backed up, one against the other, and on the one side, it's where everybody walks back and forth. There's fans sitting on that side. You can see that if you look on the other end of the court there. We are on the side that's butted up against another court. So, number one, there's a chance we're going to get hit in the back of the head with a ball here.
It's known to happen.
One of the risks of volleyball broadcasting in these types of venues. The second thing is we hope to kind of stay out of the view of the officials, who may not be too pleased with us being here, but so far that hasn't been an issue. So we're getting set here. Lights won the first set. If you were just joining us, we did take that first set. We're going against the Starlings team from Omaha here, a local team. Getting set up. Emma Fretheim sends that over. Starlings set their offense up. Big block there. They recover, send it back, and drop that in right over the top of the block.
Yeah, it was a nice tip there. I like the fact that block definitely had a mental impact, right? She went to the tip right away. It is very important to put a couple blocks up early and to just discourage the hitters on the other side.
Kind of a strange play there. The serve for the Starlings just comes right into a spot where I think KJ just kind of froze there and didn't know what to do with that ball. So we get reset here. Nice pass there. Audrey. Laney sends it over. Set their offense up on the Starling side. Just kisses the tape, gets over. Audrey, bump step, swings over to Van Hecke again, and that one is long.
Digging herself a little 3-point deficit here, 0-3. Have not looked sharp to start this set.
Well, volleyball funny that way. The set changes seem to often change the momentum. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but it does often happen. And I think we might have a 4 call here. I don't believe that one made it over.
Don't think that went over. Here's that 4-point cushion we talked about, Jim. Unfortunately, it's the wrong way.
Yeah, it is. KJ. See if we can get things set up here. Right side, Wellbrock spins it over right down that sideline and goes out.
Very smart play there by Laura Wellbrock. We got a new rotation here for set 2, looks like. Ella
Masso coming to the line here. He's got a tough serve. Let's see what this one is. Oh, and just a little bit short there. I think she kind of short shrifted that one a little bit on the swing.
Yeah, we're going to need to find a little spark. Who's going to bring the spark? That's the question.
All right, KJ the pass. Here's Audrey, sends it up.
And they're into the net.
(5-1) early going here. 5-2. 5-2, and that lead currently resides with the Starlings team right here from Omaha. Sent over by Emma. They have trouble covering that one. It comes back under the net towards our broadcast position here.
I think one of the keys to this set is going to be good serves. We definitely had their serve receive struggling in the first set. Let's continue that here in the second. Wow.
Slapped over, just rolls over the tape and lands on the court. Tough, not much you can do with that one, Mike.
Not much what you can do with that one at all. That was incredible, Jim, the way she was pinned up against the net outside the antenna and still was able to roll that thing down the tape and drop it in.
Starling send the ball over. Ella Masso. Spoladoro. Petrick. Covered over on the Starling side. Big hit there, and that one is going to head out of here. Lands over on court 19 next door to us. Have to retrieve the ball from over there.
Yeah, she's a strong player, that left side hitter over there. She's did most of the damage against us in the first set and has continued her fine play in the second.
Definitely. Here comes the serve, covered by Masso. Audrey, middle set. Kinsey Cronin, the Medford product.
Good to see that continue. Get Kinsey warmed up and fired up. There's been a illness bug running around the team a little bit. Nothing serious, but colds and just general worn down. Kinsey has been suffering from that, and so it's good to see her in the action.
Jordan Brownlee sends it not quite over there, and that one lands in the net. Still looking for that spark, Mike, here at 8-4.
Yep, this is the 4-point cushion we talked about. Very important to get inside that 4-point cushion.
Brownlee sends it over, but they are covered on the block there.
That's what we call a stuff block, Jim. That ball went straight down.
Yes, it did. Not much you can do to recover with that. Serve right at us. Ella handles it. Cronin again, and there's that middle quick offense with that turn shot. Really like to see that.
You know, we talked to Kinsey after the match last night and talked a little bit about that play there where she goes up and surveys the court. She did talk a lot about the vision and the ability to find holes.
Lexi Petrick in the net. A lot of service errors here, Mike. Going to have to try to clean that up. I know they're being aggressive, but it is going to be an important thing as you're trying to come from behind.
Absolutely, and we just talked about the fact that the Starlings serve receive struggled in the first set.
They send their serve over. Audrey. Left side, Welbrock. That looks like it's going to be wide right.
I think a timeout's coming. Yep, absolutely. That's
Coach Lors gets this timeout called, and it gives us a little chance to talk about our sponsors again. We're hoping for a visit from the Fruity Frothy Frappuccino Company of Eagan, Minnesota. That's Christine Forrester. Her daughter is playing, well, let's see, I think they're on court 22. I'm guessing a little bit at that. I believe they're also playing in the PM wave this afternoon. Hopefully things are going well for them.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple days here. Lots of Lights teams in action.
We had a nice team brunch this morning. It was fun to see all the parents and players down there. There were a couple of different Lights teams there, and a really good meal down at a place called Jam's Grill in the old market here. And they returned the favor there, a service error for the Starlings side. Maybe this is our launch point, Mike.
That's what we call a good timeout, Jim. Anytime you come out of a timeout, it's a good timeout when you get a point.
Absolutely. KJ Klimbarski sends over the knuckleball. Starlings pop it over, but that's not going to make it. Oh, double contact called. Not sure I really saw that, but.
Yeah, this is an interesting angle right in front of our camera. Again, watch that ball as it dodges left, dodges right, falls off the table. KJ's got a great serve.
Slapped over by Starlings, and we got four
hit. They ruled that the first hit did not go over the nets and came back on their own side.
Keeps KJ at the line here right in front of us. He sends it over. Oh, that one is moving too, kind of screwballing. Popped over by Starlings.
We got a double contact on the set there. That quick pass caught the setter off guard a little bit, I think.
KJ continues. Sends this one over the other side. Wow, some good placement on these serves, Mike, really mixing it up.
Good placement, excellent serve. That ball is moving around, very tough to receive. This is the spark we needed, Jim. I think KJ gets the spark award for set 2.
And it is 11-10. And another one.
Boy, Dan Stein is going to be a busy
Dan Stein, another Dan Stein Alligator ace means that many, many more varmints are going to be removed from basements all over the Midwest. That prompts a timeout and gives us a chance to talk a little bit about Mr. Stein. He's our lead sponsor here today. His daughter is also playing with the 17 white team. And hopefully we'll have a chance to visit with him a little bit here later in the afternoon about his services that he provides. Of course, a lot of people have asked, why do you have alligator and crocodile removal services in Minnesota? But of course, that's not his primary focus in the state of Minnesota. He does that when we play in Orlando and gets a lot of his business at that point of the year on the crocodile and alligator side. All right, we're back in action here, and KJ continues up the line. Another good knuckleballing serve over.
Oh, wow, nice up.
Popped over. Here come the Starlings. Again, at the net, tough to get them balls up. Starlings are going to send it over. Right behind the block. There's a lot of that tipping just to get over our block. Sent back, and pinball Wizards here again, back and forth. That's got to be called something, a lift or a double contact.
Or just on the ground or a double.
Something. I don't know what we're going to call there.
Boy, this has been a nice run. That was a scrappy play right there, Jim. Again, we talk about it's not always fundamentally sound volleyball. You got to work hard.
Trouble handling things on the other side. And right at the moment, the Starlings are reeling. Klimbarski continues at the line. That one they let go, and it is long. And that ends a fantastic service run, Mike. I wish I'd have kept track of how many that was, but
yeah,
really
I want to say
number.
that might have been, yeah, I'm not going to guess. 5, 6,
5,
7,
6, 7,
8.
somewhere in there. It was really good. All right, the Starlings try to get back on track here. Emma Fredheim has something to say about that. They send that back. Going to be pushed over by Wellbrock. Get the offense set up. Left pin. Again, trying to tip over that block. It did not work there. That one just outside.
The block's there. That's what I like to see, Jim. The block's there. We get the hands turned a little bit and a little more reach, and that ball will end up down on the court for a point.
That one's into the tape, and it's another point for your Northern Lights.
So we've overcome the 4-point deficit, Jim. It'll be important for us to get our own 4-point lead and see if we can hold it for the rest of the set.
Just kind of keep things rolling here. We have Audrey Spoladoro coming up to the line. She favors that far right side here. And the right-hander is going to send it over. Starlings have a little trouble. Ball gets in the net. Audrey continues at the line. Sends this one short. They scramble to cover it. Popped over. Wellbrock, big swing.
You know, Jim, it is so fun to watch. You can almost see the eyes as big as saucers when Laura gets a set she wants. She gets ready to hit, and she just explodes.
Audrey continuing at the line here. Sends it over. Starlings have trouble with that, and they send it over into court 17, and I think we're on our run, Mike. Just got to keep this going here.
Indeed, Audrey's doing a good job working the 2 spot, we call that, Jim. That's short on the server side of the court. She seems to have found a hole she likes there, and the Starlings make a substitution to try to offset that.
Sent over. Starlings again swinging over that block. Emma Fredheim just long.
Yeah, I like the decision there by Emma to turn on that one. That was a defensive play that actually was more like a set, and she went and turned on it, just got a little bit under it. But I like the decision.
Absolutely, a dead ball comes over with no spin on it. Wellbrock sends it over. They cover that on the Starling side. Again, trying to tip away from our block is kind of their strategy at the moment. Van Hecke, big swing, brings the sledgehammer. Going to bring Ella Masso to the line. Right in front of our broadcast position here. The right-hander slaps it over. Starlings cover. They swing it over from that left pin. And they're overpass. Their block's right there. They just send that down into open court. Starlings send the serve over. We got whistles here.
I think we're
getting a do-over. I don't really know what happened there.
I'm not sure he was ready with the whistle.
All right, serve from the Starlings. Getting our offense set up. Audrey pushed over by Van Hecke. Starlings from that left pin. Swing that one over. Back to the middle. Emma Fredheim.
Wow.
What a fantastic spot.
That was a fantastic spot, Jim. They had a monster block up on that. Emma got up, saw it, turned her body, went down the line for a kill.
Oh, a nice serve there from Fredheim, who had a couple of long service runs yesterday. Van Hecke.
Good scrap.
Starling set up. That one's in the net.
Boy, that was a nice defensive play by Emma as well. She says, I like to serve. I want to keep going. Not going to let that ball hit the floor. Resulting in another timeout from the Starling team.
We get a little chance to look around the convention center here. Again, we're on court 18. I feel like we're right in the middle of all of the action.
I see our Frappuccino sponsor back there on the back side of court 22.
Yeah, we got another Lights team getting ready, I think, to play probably in the next half an hour or so here.
We won the important race to 20, Jim. That's 2015.
Always seems like a mental advantage to get to that first. That keeps Emma Fretheim at the line where she wants to be. Some pinballing over on the other side. And that's a point for the 17 red team, 21-15. Emma sends it over. That's a good serve just off the top of that tape. Big swing, but covered by the block. Audrey pushes it over. Petrick sends it. They'll reset their offense. Again, the block. Popped up. And in the net call here.
Yeah, I think the block caused the ball to fall close to the net, and when we went to bump it up, our hands caught the underside of the tape, and unfortunately, it was a good scramble. Unfortunately, caught the net there. But I tell you what, I can't talk enough about that number 23, Jim. Her ability to hit the ball and make smart plays, it's there. She's a fine player.
Very good player. Little substitution here. Jordan Brownlee going to be coming in to serve. The left-hander favors that far right corner. She's going to send it over. Oh, mistiming there on the Starling side, and I wonder if they weren't in the net.
They were, indeed. That was a nice cover, though, by that team.
Yep.
Lots of times you'll see when we run a middle attack, it's a quick set, and the timing isn't always there. And you'll see a defensive player come up behind the middle hitter just for that exact scenario if the ball happens to get over the hitter.
Oh, big swing there. Covered on the light side. Swung over, and that is Kinsey Cronin with no regard for human life.
Kinsey with a nice block there on the attack, and then turns right back around and says, "You ain't touching this. This is going down." Nice play by Kinsey.
That keeps the southpaw Brownlee at the line, sends it over. Short serve, they're having trouble with this. It's going to get over, but
Good
everybody's out of system there. Brownlee, big swing. Overpassed. Again, pinballing around that net. We talked about how difficult that net play can be when the ball is in and rolling out and you're trying to get underneath it and so forth.
Audrey thought she saw a gap there when it was going to go over on two, but there's some big hands there on the other side of the net, brought that ball back.
Starlings send the ball over. Oh! And that
Nice
one hits the
serve.
floor.
Nice serve.
Really died as it came over.
It sure did. It fell off the table.
Starlings come again. Massel with this one. Over to Brownlee. Going to be popped over by Klembarski, and they have trouble covering that. It's a good spot. And folks, that is it.
We just had a Frappuccino sponsor here. Looks like we're trying to make the call here to get a guest, our guest in here. But nice victory for the Lights team. It wasn't pretty to start the second set. We've kind of seen that this tournament, Jim. They come out real strong in the first set. They get a victory that pushes them but doesn't really challenge them, and they come back in the second set. And it's hard. It's hard to get back up and with high energy when you're facing a situation like that. But you'll see what happens. Any team in any gym can do some damage, and so they put us down early.
Yep.
You got to come to play right away.
Yep. It is important to keep things rolling early and keep your momentum as good as you can. And okay, we're here now with.
Oh my God!
We're gonna have a word here from our sponsor, folks. So just hang on with us a couple of minutes. I have Christine Forrester here. She is the president and operator of the Fruity Frothy Frappuccino Company of Eagan, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And you're also here watching your daughter today. Tell us a little bit about how that's going and how things are going with the business.
Well, first of all, team's doing great, bonding great, having fun, which we love. Went 3-0 yesterday, very proud of them. Just roll today and have a good time. Some bad news, my Frappuccino business is not doing very well. I just a little verklempt here. But I'm in a new business, logistics now. It's called Go Truck Off. And Nebraska is the best place to do this. And I thought, why not start it here? My husband's in logistics. I'll be the CEO. He can kind of vice president. I'm okay about that. But anyways, it's going to be Go Truck Off. Anything that you want to move, volleyballs. We don't take alligators, though. Kind of have a problem with alligators. Heard there's an alligator sponsor. I still have a problem with alligators.
Yeah, I know.
But other than that, volleyballs all the way, Go Truck Off. Christine Forrester right here for you.
Wow, folks, you heard it there. A brand new company, Go Truck Off.
Nebraska.
I love it. Go Truck Off Nebraska. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to visiting with you a bit more about that and your business plans and things going forward. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Definitely there's a lot of things here that could be could use that logistics, could use those ways of moving things around. So I like it. It's a good plan. Glad things are going good for the team so far, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon.
Jim, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. All right, folks. I think that's probably going to be it here from Court 18. Remember, we're off to a good start today. Your Northern Lights 17 Reds take both sets here in their opening match against the Starlings from Omaha. And I believe we play at 5 o'clock coming up, so we have a little bit of a break here for the girls to kind of re-energize, and then we'll get back at it. We'll see you then. Thanks for joining us here on the Spolabrock Sports Network.